everyone, I'm Liam.
And I'm Beth.
And I am I guess you could call it, I'm in charge of this channel. And this is my cousin Beth.
Hi. So we're going to be making a cake today, so I hope you enjoy. Here are the ingredients to make the cake.
Baking soda. Baking powder. Vanilla. Salt. You can use either Hershey's semi-sweet cocoa powder or Hershey's special dark cocoa powder. Sugar. Flour. And lastly, 1, 2, 3 eggs.
Also, don't forget the butter.
A mixer is also required for this recipe. The first step in my recipe says to beat the butter for 30 seconds. So I'm going to use 1.5 sticks of butter. Let me just find the opening. And this butter must be softened. Just keep that in mind. So just let it sit out for a while before putting it in the mixer.
Now we're going to beat it for 30 seconds.
Now we are going to slowly add in our sugar. You're going to add in 2 cups, and I'm going to do it a half cup at a time because it says slowly beat it in. So, now I will start to beat it in.
Repeat this process until it's all done.
Add each egg one by one. First, add 1 egg out of 3 into your mixture. Then you will mix it up and then repeat this process until all the egg is mixed in.
Perfect crack. Now that we've mixed in all 3 eggs, this is what ours looks like. Surprising we didn't add food coloring because it's super yellow and I can't believe this is going to be a chocolate cake. Now add in the vanilla.
You're going to want to add in a half a teaspoon. Now mix in the vanilla. Now you're going to spoon and level your flour. You're going to need 2 cups of flour. I am adding it by the half cup. You're going to want to add your flour, beat it, and then add the other portions of flour and repeat until all your 2 cups of flour is added. So now I'm going to continue spooning and leveling my flour into our half cup measuring cup. You're going to want to fluff your flour and add it by the spoonful. Once you think you've had the right amount, take the flat part of your spoon and level it out so every spot is filled in. Now dump it into your mixture.
Repeat that till you're done.
Now with your excess flour, in order to save flour, you can fold your plate and dump it into your measuring cup.
Ba-boom! You just saved some flour. Finish off the rest of the cup.
Now add in 1 teaspoon of baking soda.
After you've mixed it, it's going to look a little doughy after all that flour, so you're definitely going to need to spoon out the stuck parts. There we go. Now it's coming together. I just can't wait until the water part so we can see what it's kind of going to look like. So now add in 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder.
We're using 1/2 and 2/8 of a teaspoon.
Add the last bits and then we'll move on to the next part.
So now add in 1/2 teaspoon of Morton salt. First, you want to measure it over an area like this plate where I've been collecting my things. So just so you don't overdo the salt because it can come out very fast. Now add in your 1/2 teaspoon.
Now, spoon and level your cocoa powder.
You're going to have to use 3/4 a cup of cocoa powder. I'm using 2/8 cups and 1/2 cup.
Now, mix in the cocoa powder. This is when the chocolate begins. This can also get a little bit messy, but it's looking good.
It does not look like cake.
No, it doesn't. This looks like tar. This is...
Mom! Mom! Can you come out here? We want to show you something. The required amount is 1.5 cups. So I'm going to start by adding 2/8 and 1/2 to make 3/4 of a cup to start off. Now time for my 1/2 cup.
Now, this is when it's going to probably start looking like cake.
Now we are going to mix it.
Oh gosh, this is messy. Yum. Let's get a close-up on this. I have a feeling this is going to taste really good. And this is our first homemade cake ever. So this is a big accomplishment.
Now we are going to add in the other 1/2 of the milk.
So we're going to repeat the process that we already did.
Now we are going to mix it up.
Here we go. Yum, yum, yum. The after effect is a little messy, but worth it. After the explosion, we're just gonna clean up a little before we go on to the next steps. Just so we have some better space to work with. This recipe was actually made for cakes, but we decided we were going to make some cupcakes. So we're using a cupcake pan, but you can do either way. Just remember that if you're doing cake, you have to butter the pan.
Now we are going to fill the cupcake tins. You should use an ice cream scoop because it fills the perfect amount for each cupcake.
And we're using these pretty containers to hold them. Continue the process. We are doing 12 at a time, so we both have 12 for ourselves. So first we're going to fill this one and bake it, and then we're going to repeat. But we're doing it in 2 separate loads, but of course if you're doing cupcakes or 2 small cakes, you can keep them together in the oven.
Now we are preheating our oven to 350 degrees.
Okay, now we're at 350 degrees, and we are going to pop these into the stove. The oven. The oven slash stove, it's both. There we go. Now we're just gonna wait. They're in the oven right now, and we're going to check back on them after about 12 minutes. So the time may vary. Now we will be making a chocolate mousse, but we won't be showing you in this video.
Okay, we're back, guys. And so we ended up baking them a lot longer. We ended up baking them about 20 minutes. And this is the finished product. And we made chocolate frosting on the back of the Hershey's cocoa powder. And they ended up they ended up really good. So I hope you can make this recipe at home, and I hope you really enjoy it.